Hey guys.
Hey, buddy.
Stand by. Hey.
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you?
How are you doing this afternoon?
Just fine. How about you, sir?
Let's see. Do I
That
need
was a ripping one
light
for
on?
Mark. He had to put a little extra muscle on that one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this light on me a little bit better? Or no.
You look fantastic.
That's all I needed to hear.
I see.
Yeah, you look beautiful in any light, Chris.
Yeah.
Come on.
I see two of us invested in some lighting over the break.
Yes.
They break.
I did.
Not three. Two.
Cheers to you.
That's funny. So what are you drinking there, Boosh?
Yeah.
My usual coffee and my beverage this evening is a 1980 Chateau Le Blanche.
What is that?
Fine here.
Chateau Le Blanche. What kind of prune juice is that?
It's illegal in 12 states, first of all. So it's only a special grape that can make this fine wine. It's not prune.
Are you making moonshine?
No, but I've thought
Your
about
off
it.
season.
I've thought about doing something like that here, but nothing yet. How about you? You got any funky stuff brewing in the basement?
I'm doing no. I'm drinking. I got a what is it? What's this thing called? A Midwinter Night's Dram. You ever see this coolest? We've enjoyed this before.
Fantastic. Dry. So good. It's one of Kate's favorites.
Quite tasty. I normally don't go rye, but when I do,
It's a good one.
I go dram.
It's not easy to find these days.
Here comes Richie too. He's walking in.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, man. What's up, guys?
Cheers.
Nice Cure t-shirt there, man.
Thank you. Cheers. Wait, I need to grab a drink.
Yeah, I just am making one right now.
I'll be back. What are you guys drinking?
I got some wine there.
G12. Trusty old G12.
Can't go wrong. Benj?
I got some vino.
Vino. All right, I'll be back.
And this is how Richard enters a happy hour, a few minutes late, and then he goes and does something, and then he comes back.
Guarantee you he'll lose his phone before the end of this happy hour.
Yeah. Guarantee. So good show by Shark. I thought, like I was saying, I thought he put some extra muscle on that one tonight. That one had the most fire to it to me. I thought he was killing it. Taking on the world today. Pulled that one out of the vault. Very excited about that in the number 2 slot. He was talking about Coip and writing with him. And, I don't know if you guys ever remember hanging out. We saw him just here not too long ago when we were in Charlottesville before the world took a left turn. But fun song, a good songwriter buddy of ours that we've written a bunch of stuff with in the past.
He's great. Was that our last show?
Was Charlottesville our last show? I think it was, right?
It was, yeah.
That was the last one.
Richie, I believe, had a writing session with him that day. Richard, didn't you write with Coip in Charlottesville before that last show of ours?
No, I was supposed to, but Grayson had a hockey game.
Oh, okay.
Changed last minute, so I wanted to stay for the game, so I canceled. But I'm planning on going back down there and writing with him.
Great.
He's got a great setup down there. All right, so how bad was Rob's internet connection? What's up with that?
He's on my internet plan, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was rough. But he sounded amazing.
No, he totally did. I mean, it was funny going back 2003. Was that the first time Mark mentioned that? The first time that we toured or we met with Robert?
I think that sounds about right. We put out that Zeppelin song in what, like 4 or 5, I think, right?
right about there. I remember we played Columbus when we were out on tour with Robert, and it was the first time. It had to be 2004 because Katie and I, we had just bought our first house together, and so we had finished the show, and we bring everybody back for the after party to the house because we had just got it, and it was in, we lived in German Village, kind of a cool, fun area. And we're partying, having a good time, and it was getting way late. I mean, it was 2003 hours. Like it was like 3:30 in the morning, and the missus finally looks at me to like, hey, time to wrap it up. And Robert comes walking through the door. I'm like, I need 15 more minutes, and she got mad, stormed, went upstairs. But yeah, we had a good time, and Robert came in late hours and kept it going, and we partied to the wee hours of the morning. Bush, I think you were there at least.
I have some memory of that. Not
Some recollection.
entirely linear or clear, but yes, some memory of that. He always brings the party. The guy, eats, sleeps, and breathes joy and music and life. And if he's around, you definitely take it up a notch. It's one of the things that I love about him so much.
I mean, that first tour with him and the family band was so fun and crazy, and some of my most best tour memories are just hanging out with him and his crew. Just jamming late night on the bus.
Yeah. What is it called that he would always bring on the bus? Is that thing called a dobro?
Dobro. Yeah.
Guitar that has like a metal kind of a. How do you explain it to me?
Yeah, dobro. It's like a resonator guitar,
Okay.
where it's just made out of steel or some sort of metal, and it just kind of has that twang.
Yeah.
Twang to it.
Remind me, would he play it on his lap, or was he playing it both ways? Was he playing like a regular guitar?
There's dobros that are set up this way. I mean, I guess you can play it however way you want. And then there's dobros that have square necks that I think are supposed to be played like this.
Okay.
But either way, I mean, he can play it both ways. I mean,
So, I mean, I guess the point of what I'm kind of getting at is what I remember about it is it doesn't matter if he picks up like a kid's toy ukulele. He gets his sound out of any instrument, tune or in tune. He sits down and he plays something, and it's Robert Randolph.
yeah.
Right there. It's just
His voicings and his phrasings are just it's signature Robert. No one else plays like that.
yeah, I get goosebumps every time I hear it. I was typing that away like 15 times while he was playing that one part. And that song, who did he write Soul Refreshing with? That's a great song.
God, I don't know who he wrote that with, but I mean that's my favorite song that he's ever written. I remember he called me on stage to play with him during that song. And I was just barely hanging on, but it was so fun.
Hey guys, I want to dig back a little bit. Mark tonight, as he hit "Stand By Me," which is a killer cover. We used to do that all the time. A couple tours ago, John Lampley would come out in the sousaphone. We'd do it. Alan Stone would come out and do it with his band. It was a great experience. But he was mentioning Dead Man's Cliff when you guys are growing up. So you guys, you gotta fill me in on that and the other folks about the story about Deadman.
That's a Chris Coolo story because that's a neighborhood thing for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, so we had we lived in a neighborhood called Falls Mead, and I would say between Falls Mead and 2 or 3 other neighborhoods that kind of surrounded our elementary school, there was a big park. And in the park, there was just like a big fishing pond. There was the like community pool, and then a bunch of like trails. And some of the trails were like paved, and then some of them kind of veered off and they were just into the woods. And that was just kind of where if you were a kid growing up, you just knew your way through the woods. And one was like a back way to get to Falls Mead Elementary School. One was like to Matt Kelly's house. One was back up towards like the neighborhood where Mark and Pete Caceres, remember Pete Caceres, who lives across the street from Mark? Like we would there were all these like cut throughs and stuff like that. So just kind of as far back as you could kind of go off the path, there was the steepest section. It was a cliff. It was literally a cliff called Deadman's Cliff. That it was almost impossible to climb up, but you could because there were just vines and branches. But the more adventurous kids in the neighborhood would somehow either try to run down it. And the legend is that Dave Robert rode his bike down Deadman's Cliff. And he broke his arm, but it doesn't matter. He has this legend throughout everyone. I mean, because was he 3 or 4 years older than us?
4.
One of Mark's older brothers at the time was at absolute legend status. And that will live on forever, that he rode his bike down Deadman's Cliff. But it was one of those things. You wouldn't know it unless I pointed it out, kind of. Like, you could walk through the woods all the time right past it. And if I was like, that's Deadman, it would be like, holy shit.
Wait, so who named it Deadman's Cliff? Was that?
Oh, who knows? That's way before my time.
Okay.
That's going way, 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 way back.
Okay.
It was Chunk from the Goonies.
Could have been. Definitely could have. But I really related to Mark's story about when he ghost rode his bike into the neighbor's place or his neighbor's car, and I remember my dad would always, if we would ever get in trouble, he'd kind of get down and sit eye to us, and he'd go, "I'll go to bat for you. Did you do this?" And we'd either go yes or no, and if it was a no, and he'd go and stand up and go to bat. And that's some good dadding, I think, is to like build that trust between you and your kid going after it. But I just remember that one related so much and resonated so much to me because it still stands out to me, those moments. Like when I was a kid, there was a bus driver who gave me the business about something that was going on, and I got in trouble for it. I was like, I did not do this. But he marched into the school and read them the riot act, and I felt quite vindicated. I don't know if you guys had an experience like that, either growing up or dadding yourself.
I had a bunch of experiences where I get in trouble.
I know, but you actually did it, though. That
was a terrible job. Yeah, I was a
problem.
problem.
The school on fire. You actually did that.
You did.
Yeah, I did do that. I did get arrested for that at the age of 11. Sorry, Mom. But it didn't. Yeah. Anyway, there's other ones, but the one that stood out to me that related to it, Jerry, that I remembered, I was really young. I was actually like 3 years old, and I was throwing rocks in the street. Car drove by. I threw a rock. It hit the car. The guy dragged me home to my parents, and I got in big trouble. But my dad stood up to him because the guy dragged a 3-year-old home by, like, I think he dragged me by my ear or something, and it was a whole thing. But my dad had my back, and that's something I still remember.
God, you were 3?
Yeah, I started young, Rich.
Amazing.
3?
Yeah, no, seriously, my parents had to, I think, go to court because the guy wanted damages, and
What the hell's wrong with you?
even though I was at fault and there were damages due, I think my dad tells the story like the guy was such a jerk about it that he was like, screw it, I'll just waste the guy's time too. Like, when he told the judge, I know this is my kid's fault, but the guy didn't have to do all these things. He said it in court or something. So that's the LeBlanc for you.
Yeah. Go Harvey.
Yeah, Harv, seriously. All right.
No, my dad never went to bat for me. He just threw me on the bus left and right. Just said,
Oh, Tony?
"Did you do this?" I said, "No, I didn't do it." He goes, "You did now." I'm just kidding. I know you're watching. I'm just kidding.
Well, shout out to the tough love of Tony on. Right?
Yeah.
Cheers to that. So Mark was talking about when he was introducing James. I remember that Eastern Shore, Eastern Maryland writing session so well over at John Elijah's place. And you guys it's more your world than mine, kind of growing up in and around there and stuff. But like, that was just such a magical time for us as a band, creating all of these things for that record in between now and then, in our formative years as a band. But then, let's talk a little bit about Elijah's place and all the kind of fun and the good stuff that we were cooking up there.
Easton, Maryland is a quintessential Maryland coastal town. Like it just, it's very beautiful there. And the setup we had was, I think it was Alasia's mom's house. And so it was like it almost felt like the basement because we were in this environment that just felt like one of our childhood homes in that way. And I just remember being really comfortable immediately there. And Alasia's very upbeat, happy vibe was resonating. And, I remember it being a productive session, a fun session, and so much coming out of it, including James, which is a very meaningful song and something I treasure that we get to have, as part of music we share. And Jerry, think about your family every time we do have that, song going on. So it was cool to get that part in there today. It's nice of Mark to bring that up.
Yeah, and Richie, we did Road Outside Columbus in that session too, didn't we?
We did. I just want to say about James, I don't think any of us knew what was going on with you with that story. And then when I heard it for the first time and I found out what it was really about, it was like even more powerful than the music already was, because it was, definitely hits home, We're brothers, right?
Amen. Well, it was just, I remember that experience so well. I mean, we were in Alasia's house, this little ranch. It looked like you would just move in all your recording equipment into your mom's house. It's basically what it was basically like. And he had just done Room for Squares there with John Mayer, right? Mm-hmm. He did Mraz's debut album, or at least major label debut album in that spot as well, at least chunks of it. And then we were in there making In Between Now and Then. I think Josh Kelly, was in there doing stuff at that one as well. Alasia was on all cylinders at that point. But anyway,
Brett,
he asked, he was like, what do you, we had worked on that song, at least the changes and all that stuff. And I explained that story to him about my grandfather getting sick and passing. He goes out to the car, listens to it because we had done the instrumental to it. We tracked it, but he didn't record the vocal yet. We listened to the instrumental and he came back, and I think he cut it in 1 or 2 takes. It did not take long to go out there and get after it. But just an awesome experience of, one, how important a car stereo was to songwriting.
Oh my God, that's the best.
And two, the power of just connecting with an emotion like loss and healing, and how that can resonate. So, yeah, cool spot, cool story.
Those are the 2 things that I remember most. It was about being able to play a song and then burn it to a CD, which was not quick. It took a little while. You had to wait for it to burn. And then you would go out to your car and drive around because that's where we listened to music at the time. And we could get in the car and crank it up, windows down, drive around. And it wasn't about the mix so much. It was just about the performance. How did we play that song well? How is it feeling right yet? Do we need to make overall changes? It wasn't their kick drum is too loud or the bass doesn't have, the right EQ or something like that. It was just a feel thing. And that was so important to us, just playing and capturing stuff live on tape, I think. And then the other thing, you're right, is the layout of the house. Like, we were so used to at the time playing in a room, whether it was, or I don't know, playing in my mom's basement or on a stage where you're basically all set up next to each other, where this was literally, like Jerry said, like just going into like your mom's house and like I remember my drums were in the living room and next was like the kitchen, and it was like this open, weird feeling of like kind of just taking over the house. Cables running through the dining room and like microphones here and the mixer over in the family room. That was really cool.
Yeah, like you couldn't get to one part of the house if you didn't walk through the mixing room. So you get like isolated in kitchen zone for like hours if there was something going on, and because you wouldn't interrupt. Yeah.
And shout out to Jeff Giuliano too. For some reason, we've unintentionally left him out of every story.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
I also love the accountability of recording like that, where we're all playing together, trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And if I mess up, but you guys have the perfect take, then it's like I I have to have the perfect take too. So it's that accountability of me not wanting to let you guys down if you captured the lightning in the bottle and vice versa. So it's
old school that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie and just like just playing together as a unit,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit of current event type stuff. One, Richie, big topic in the discussions here. How's the sinkhole? I know you posted about it.
Sinkhole is
IG, taken care of.
Killed it. Sinkhole
We're good.
Yeah. Plugged it with some.
I don't know, man. Stranger Things had a season 2 and a season 3. Isn't that that'll be the end of the story?
Hopefully it is. Yeah, plugged it with some cement. Put some iron rod supports in it, because otherwise cement without any iron supports in it. It's called a rebar.
Rebar.
That.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I have 2 of those in there to keep it from sagging or settling. So hopefully that's it, man. I just covered it with dirt, so there's not like a big cement slug sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that's the end. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice. Well, here it is. Marc Robert's jumping in here to comment on your sinkhole in today's show.
Hey!
Hey,
Hello.
Let's kill it.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What up?
Buddy?
It always takes us a little while after the show to stop sweating, so sorry for the delay.
You're good.
It's all good. Great show, man.
Thanks, man.
Well,
What are you guys talking about? I'm gonna go.
Little home improvement action Richie was diving into.
I
Anybody
can't hear
else?
Jerry, so someone else.
No way. I'm still muted.
Fucking Christ.
That's unbelievable.
we're talking about my sinkhole situation,
Yeah, I figured. I heard a little bit about it.
and I think it's fun. I think we can stop talking about it. I think everyone's sick of the sinkhole.
Everyone's good.
I'll stop posting about it.
No, that sucks. That's a crazy thing. I wanted to show you guys because someone sent me some stuff for you from Black Button Distilling in Rochester, New York. So right now they're making this is alcohol antiseptic, so like hand sanitizer. They switched all their gear over to making hand sanitizer, but in the meantime, this really cool company, man, who said some stuff for you guys. It's currently sitting here. I don't know if it'll ever make it to you, but it's cool. You can make all these bourbon drinks. And some gin and some, so it's cool. So they're a nice company. They're doing a lot of work for the people. Sorry.
Man down.
Do you see Robert?
Awesome. We saw him. We couldn't really hear him.
I said, hey, Rob, you going to come on? Oh, yeah. You're going to have your guitar, all that good stuff we see. Yeah. I'll be in my basement. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you to check the Wi-Fi because I'm not going to run, but you should have checked the Wi-Fi. I told Nassim, she's like, I said, Nassim, you're producing this whole dang show. It's everything we do is her idea, right? She's like, oh, you should. I said, you need to come in here like when you're on Kelly Ripa and Gelman is there and he's like holding up the sign, like wrap it up.
Right.
Or fix the Wi-Fi.
Right.
That's what I need.
Oh, he sounded good though.
Dude, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So I sent him that. Danny Jameson sent that track.
Yeah.
The other day, Rob texted me, "Hey, you want to do a song?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do a song." And then I sent him that track. I'm like, let's do this one and take it like Chicago. Danny Jameson, Chicago, like straight up Chicago dude, with Robert, who comes straight out the church in Jersey, like bringing it all, and combine those two things, like maybe our band and the family band, just kind of squished together.
That's
and
awesome.
make this crazy song,
Have
I
you
love
Rob
that Jameson
heard
bit.
the song?
Dope.
Rob heard the song?
Yeah, he loved it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you guys been watching anything? What have you been Netflixing these days?
A lot.
Yeah.
All of it.
You know, like, obviously excited for The Last Dance tonight. The new Seinfeld stand-up is an absolute A+.
Let's talk Seinfeld. Let's absolutely talk Seinfeld.
I gotta watch that.
Mark turned me on. 4316. That's the marker.
Oh yeah,
Jerry
that's
Seinfeld talks marriage.
the
and,
marriage stuff.
knocks it out of the park. Have you guys checked that out? Have you seen that yet?
I'm gonna write this down. What is it?
4316.
Got it.
Yeah, important number. Relay this to Mark, considering Mark can't, for some reason, could hear the four of you, but cannot hear me.
So here's the deal. If Sam C, am I cutting you off, Jerry? Because I can never tell. Sam C's been asking for Naked all the time. Play the song. And Sam, I don't know if you're watching. The reason why, I guess I was going to play, I ran out of time. But the song, and I will save it for next week, but we'll get to it. But there's a reason why, we don't play that song unless we have time to explain the story, because it's not really our song, it's someone else's. So just for a little clarity on I'm not ignoring it. I'm not ignoring it. Yeah, drunkest band in Connecticut. So I'm definitely not ignoring you, buddy.
He knows the song.
A lot of people do. I asked him specifically, hey, is there something I can listen to that you're referencing? And he thought I was joking or being an asshole or something. And I'm like, no,
It's out there. We have actually played it more times than you probably think, where the crowd sings along. It's just been so long, and it's kind of out of sight, out of mind for us. But there's versions of it, especially if you guys go on Orsa, there's he probably has a couple versions posted. Ed does. I'm sorry, not Sam, but yeah.
Yeah. That Owen stuff I was drinking, I got to get some scent. We had some on tour, but it's like drinking a tree. You taste it. It's not chemically at all, But they sent a bunch of stuff for everybody, and I was trying to do a commercial. How to look.
I went and I bought a case after that. No, it's good. We drank.
Ads are popping up on my Instagram now. What the hell, dude?
Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
I had that after we worked out, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Jerry, can you hear Mark?
I can totally hear Mark.
Okay.
That's so funny.
He can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I use Jerry? I want that feature.
There's really no explanation for it because I don't have settings. I don't really have access to set. I mean, I'm just,
It's gotta be. He's the host, so he's probably got the mixer controls that is not working.
Maybe because he's the host. There's something in the settings. So, what have you guys talked? I mean, are we talking about this Last Dance situation? Are we?
We had talked about
Seinfeld. Jerry was saying you sent him go watch Seinfeld, but specifically started at 43 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yeah, because he says late. He goes, wives or women, or I don't know how exactly he puts it, but he says, your husbands are trying to make you happy. Believe we're trying to make, but we can't. And we won't. If we've ever made you happy, we don't know how we did it. So we can't recreate that. I mean, it really digs in. It's shit. That dude is crazy funny, talking about stuff that you think a billionaire probably doesn't have to police his own, how he acts in the kitchen or how he acts in the living room. I mean, he's talking about the same shit we talk about.
Oh, yeah. He's like, this tone in my voice, the way I'm talking to you, do you think I have this tone of voice in my house? No.
He said, I could be anywhere in the world. Would you be here if you were me? He goes, I don't know why I'm here. Could be anywhere.
It's great.
Yeah, Jerry Stiller, go. He went. That sucks. I love Jerry.
Festivus. Man.
So you guys you think Jordan is like? I mean, I'm watching it like crazy. I know we've had our thing with Dennis Rodman in the past, but he really appealed to me in this thing a lot. I mean, just kind of highlighting how much of a force that dude is. I think I get him a lot more. Like Dennis, might be the one that of this whole thing that I really get. I get it, you know.
It's a cool take. I mean, when everybody's about Jordan and guys backing him up and such amazing offensive players, to see a guy like Rodman who didn't have to ever have the ball, he just rebounded and did all kinds of defensive stuff that when you put it in perspective like that, where he's coming from, man, insane.
What a beast. And Danny Jameson, speaking of, and everyone out there, Danny Jameson he played with us for a long time. He was in a band called Left Undone. Now he runs the Gold Coast All-Stars in Chicago, but he's also a very, very, very Chicago person. And I believe he was a ball boy in the 90s.
That was Franklin. That was Jason.
But didn't either Danny or his wife get to do it as well?
I'm not sure.
There's something there. But just imagine, dude, being on that. Just fucking imagine seeing that.
So Franklin told me that when he was ball boy, Scottie Pippen kind of looked out for him, took him under his wing, and for prom, Scottie Pippen picked him up in his Lamborghini. Or let him throw it. I don't think he let him.
No, he drove him. He drove him into.
He drove him to prom, right?
One of the two, but he drove him to one of the dances. Him and his date.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn. Chris's mom drove us to the dances.
Same.
Top down, cool us.
I love those dances, man. Teen Club. That shit was wild. There's always a fight. Someone would sneak in a BB gun.
Always.
Shutting it down. BB gun.
Right. Running.
Have you seen Sticks and Stones, the Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
Good. It's brave. It's good.
Oh, I know. Mark, have you seen The Wrong Missy? Because our boy Swordsman is epic as ever, as a side character in it.
The what?
It's called The Wrong Missy. It's the new David Spade movie. I'm
Molly Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to see it so bad. I love Spade.
So Spade is awesome, but Nick Swartzen is that steals the show. He's like the side character, like his kind of best friend, but slash stalker. You know, how he nails that role, in Blaze of Glory and all of those movies. He's just absolutely the best. You got to watch it. It's really so. He's like the. I don't know if he's an IT guy or an HR guy, but he basically has access to his computer and passwords and email. So he knows everything about him all the time. And way overdoes it. Hacks into his stuff because he's I got to protect your passwords. Why would you use your personal password on a work computer? So he knows everything about it. And it's just amazing because Spade never reacts to it. Spade's just just my friend.
Spade plays the straight character, yeah?
Yeah.
He's not really funny. He's just, or is he funny too?
Yeah, I guess he's not very funny. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he's the main character.
Yeah. Swartzen is the greatest. So every time he reacts to our stuff or any sort of connection, we get super excited. A lot of people know this about us. We love comedians. A lot of bands love comedians, but the idea of even hanging with Swartzen or seeing him that's something I think we got to get going because that dude is just genius.
I want to meet him so bad.
We should see what his internet.
I feel like he loves music. He's always. Oh, sorry, Jerry.
We should see what his internet connection is. Is that what you said?
Yeah, check his internet connection. See what's over to him.
Yeah, I will send out one of those emails prior to the next hang. I don't know who's going to join us next week. but we'll see. You know, it's hard. You're trying to figure it out. You're playing, and the thing has a countdown, so it's like 1 minute left. You know, so you're running out of time. It's hard. I have a lot of respect. I don't know how people are so good at the damn internet, man. They just fucking pop someone on, boom, boom, boom. Like you watch the versus things. Like last night was Luda versus Nelly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Tell them to mention the All In Challenge.
Jerry said, mention the all-in challenge.
Yeah, the all-in challenge. I mean, how many more days we got on it, Jerry?
May 25th.
May 25th.
May 25th, yeah. I can read your lips a little bit. I'll figure it out. Yeah, you guys, we got to get some folks. I know a lot of people are bidding on it or whatever, but it's a thing. You know, I was talking about Jerry with James, right? So we sat there, we talked about James and Jerry's grandfather, and then we made the song. This is a similar thing. So if someone's out there, you could even tell us about. It doesn't have to be a specific thing. We'll make a song about it, and then we're going to record it and release it for real. And then somebody's going to come on tour with us and see their song played in front of thousands of people. That's a really one of a kind gift. I mean, All In Challenge already raised like $40 million.
It's unbelievable.
So awesome.
That's serious business, man. So let's try to get folks to add in on ours.
My favorite thing is that David Portnoy from Barstool won the Roger Goodell challenge.
He did win it.
Yeah. Didn't he win that?
The auction?
Yeah.
I know he's bidding for it. Did he win it?
He won
I believe so.
Holy crap.
Mention that to Shark.
David
We're talking
Portnoy.
about Dave Portnoy winning
Yeah.
the auction for Roger Goodell. So you go watch in his basement.
I had
Right?
an idea for Dave. I thought that he, you know, he's like Elon Musk now is like kind of like commenting on his world. He's kind of like bubbling a little bit in that weird, like not weird, but just kind of, you know, known person world. And I think Dave should go with like a new identity, like David Portnoy. Like if he just changed his name to David for a little while, just got really serious about shit. I think that'd be funny. And also when he gets in the basement with Goodell, I mean, security will be there, I imagine. It's not going to go well.
It's not going to go well.
That's the worst case scenario. One of the worst case scenarios for Roger Goodell, I think, in this situation. Is not the worst, but like at least bottom 5.
Yeah, because his back's against the wall for sure.
Brutal. Well, I think we should wrap stuff up, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody next week, and appreciate everybody coming out. You can go on YouTube at O.A.R Music and check out the archive of these, and appreciate everybody hanging out. Anyone want to say anything as we're signing off here?
Hey,
Tell Mark we're hanging up so we don't freak about when
Mark, we're wrapping it up.
What? I'm reading.
yeah.
Jerry's wrapping it up.
Love
Oh, I
seeing
was
you guys.
reading the comments.
Thank you all for joining us, and it's so great to see you guys.
Absolutely.
Great to see you.
Back at you, Chris. Back at y'all.
see you next week, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Peace.
Safe.